Hello and welcome to your next practice. Today's practice is all about the immune system and the lymphatic system. I have a cold, and I want to create value by benefiting my body, my mind, and my immunity with my yoga practice. So sometimes we can't avoid getting colds and flus, but we can most definitely create value by using our practice to stimulate immunity and to bring us back to ourselves. I know myself, I've been feeling a little bit low all day because I just get grumpy when I have a cold. So this practice is the medicine for those days when you're a little bit under the weather, or if you want to stay well when everybody else is under the weather by boosting your immunity and draining your lymphatic system, detoxing the body to the best that we can with our practice. So you'll need a wall or a chair, a bolster or a cushion, maybe like a blanket or some yoga blocks. I have my trusty box of tissues nearby as well, because I do have a cold. And we will, and all you need is your body and some time as well. So we will get straight into it with our legs up the wall or up a chair. So we've definitely done this version of having the legs up the wall. So it's like the shins supported on a chair, the knees are above the hips or slightly forward of the hips, and our upper body just relaxes completely. And we get this drainage of the lymphatic system and the venous system up towards the heart, basically, and up towards the upper body. Today, I'm going to go a little bit further with my own chair, and I'm going to have the long side of it, the back of it, towards me. And then I was figuring this out earlier. So if I hold on to the bottom of the chair with my hands gently, not like I'm holding on for dear life, the chair won't tip over. So another thing that might be useful, actually, I'm thinking in real time, is a little bit of weight on the other end of the chair. If you have a wall, the wall is so much easier, but I'm just working with what I have in this room. So if you're taking the chair option or the wall option, it's the same way of getting in. You sidle your bum right up to the support, and then you lie down on the back and you swing your legs up. And then for me, I'm going to slide this chair a little closer to me. And as I said, I'm going to hold the legs of this chair very gently so that the chair doesn't move away from me. And that's my version of this lovely legs up the wall restorative position. And the reason we're choosing this, we're going to start and finish the class in this position, is, again, as I said, lymphatic drainage, venous drainage, sending all the fluid system of the legs back up to be regenerated and cleaned in the upper body. So we're going to spend 5 minutes here. So I'm going to put 5 minutes on the clock. And we're going to also work with a little bit of breath control pranayama. So we want to feel like the lungs are getting a cleanse. So sometimes we don't breathe into the bottom of our lungs. Our breath is concentrated around the middle of the chest and the upper chest. That's just daily life. It's the way we sit all day. It's just like an epidemic of the Western world that we don't really breathe into the bottom of our lungs. So as we rest in this position with the legs up the wall, we're going to pay attention to what we call diaphragmatic breath, belly breath. So as you take a breath in, you feel like the belly expands like a balloon. And as you exhale, the belly sinks back down. It's not forced, it's just a very gentle deflation of the lungs, and the navel moves back towards the spine. So that gentle, very, very gentle and natural pumping action of the belly rising and falling is also going to benefit our lungs. And in 5-element theory of traditional Chinese medicine, we're benefiting the metal element. So you relax into your meditation on the rise and the fall of the belly. If the mind gets too active or distracting, or something in the environment is too distracting, just notice that rise and fall of the belly. That's all you have to do. Notice the rise and fall of the belly with your breath. In traditional Chinese medicine and in the Indian traditions of yoga and Ayurveda, it is believed that there is a vital force in all life. That is the foundation of all vitality. In TCM, it is called Chi. In the Indian traditions, it is called Prana. It is suggested that this life force flows through the body in particular pathways called meridians or nadis. Meridians from the Chinese medicine system, nadis from the Indian medical system. In traditional Chinese medicine, we have 5-element theory that suggests that there are 5 elements in nature and that we cycle through those, through the seasons, and they're also associated with different organs in our body. Those 5 elements are earth, water, wood, metal, and fire. The metal element is all about structure and boundaries. It is linked to the lungs and the large intestine. The lung meridian, of which the metal element is associated, opens into the nose, which is the doorway to our lungs. The characteristics of metal are that it is hard, strong, and precise. It is the metal element in the earth that gives its inner structure and value. Healthy metal element allows us to shine, to be brilliant, to inspire. It also has a component of flexibility, and it can be remolded. However, when metal gets too strong, it becomes rigid. A balanced metal element brings healthy boundaries, adaptability, flexibility, intimacy, spontaneity. If metal is too rigid, then we might have difficulty expressing ourselves. We might feel locked in place, tired and lethargic. The emotion that is linked to the lungs and the large intestine and the metal element is grief. Sometimes when we are under the weather, we can feel very down and a sense of grief for the usual energy that we have in our lives. So when we work with the metal element, we are working on many different aspects of our physical health, our emotional health, and our energetic body, our subtle health. Our time is up. So we're going to allow the awareness to move away from the belly breath and draw the awareness back into our legs. So whether you have your legs on the chair like me or on a wall, we're just going to create a pumping action, which is going to help with that venous return and that lymphatic drainage. So very simply, we're going to point the toes up towards the sky or point the foot, stretch out the front of the ankle, and then flex the foot. Point and flex super slowly, really enjoying the stretch at the front of the ankle and the stretch at the back of the ankle. And we'll do this for about a minute. So I'll put on a timer for a minute, and you're just going to stretch front of ankle, back of ankle, pointing and flexing at the ankle joint. Keep it slow. Keep it nice and slow. And now the minute is up, so we're going to go a little bit faster. So point, flex, a little bit faster just for a few moments. And then just relax. You'll bend the knees a little bit and let your knees drape down to one side, coming away from the wall or the chair. If you're like me and you have a chair, you can gently push it away from your mat. And we'll use it again later, or you can go back to your wall space. So the next piece, we're going to do a pose called a modified fish pose. So fish pose in Sanskrit is called Matsyasana, and it's described as the destroyer of all diseases. So the ancient yogis believed fish pose to be very, very good for our immune system. And, that's a big name, the destroyer of all diseases. So I think it's nice to sometimes put some faith and some hope into our practice. So let's hope that we can benefit our immune systems with this modified fish pose. So in this one, you have a bolster or maybe some blocks, and you could put a blanket over the blocks or your makeshift variation of a bolster, big cushion or pillow. And you're going to put that support kind of the back of the bottom of the breastbone, the bottom where a bra strap would be, basically. You're going to lie that area over the support, and you can have your head supported as well. So I have my bolster long here rather than across the mat. And then we're going to stay here for a little while, but firstly, we're going to take constructive rest position. So our knees together and our feet as wide as the mat, arms out to the side, chest open and broad. And we're going to just rest in this position for 3 minutes. 3 minutes here in this position. So timer is on. And we're going to go back to that belly breath. That inhale, the abdominal swell. That exhale, the abdominal fall. A very gentle way of pumping and expelling anything that needs to be expelled from the lower lungs. So this practice will be all around the lungs, the large intestine, the lymphatic system, and our immune system. Our lymphatic system helps protect us from infection and disease. It is part of the body's immune system. We have many lymph nodes in the body, and lymph fluid passes through these nodes. The lymphatic system does different things. It acts as a one-way drainage system. This means it moves fluid from the body tissues into the venous or blood circulation. It contains white blood cells called lymphocytes, which fight infection. And it also helps us get rid of any waste that the cells make.
Our lymphocytes, or white blood cells, attack and break down bacteria, viruses, damaged cells. So when we benefit our lymph system, like we will do today in this practice, we are helping our immune system to trap or destroy any harmful bacteria or viruses that the body does not need. And so we can then benefit our immune system and benefit ourselves, whether we are sick or whether we are protecting ourselves from sickness.
So our 3 minutes in Matsyasana with our constructive rest and legs are complete. We're going to keep the upper body in this lovely shape, Matsyasana, the destroyer of all disease. But we're going to work the lower body again a little bit more. So we're going to separate the knees and walk the feet in a little closer. And then a very gentle windscreen wiper movement of the legs. The knees won't go the whole way down to the ground. You're basically going to roll the knees to the right only as far as is comfortable. Back up through center. Roll the knees over to the left only as far as is comfortable. A very gentle windscreen wiper shape or movement for the lower body as the upper body stays in this lovely open shape. Expanding the lungs, extending the spine. And we're going to do this one for another 3 minutes with this mindful movement of the windscreen wipers. Continue the practice.
Throughout this practice, you will hear a tone like a drone. This sound is brainwave entrainment. It's an isochronic tone. An isochronic tone is a single tone that oscillates at regular intervals. It is a non-continuous frequency. The reason why we're using an isochronic tone is that it is best when listened to on a speaker, like your computer speaker, without headphones. You may have heard of binaural beats. With binaural beats, there is 2 tones, one in each ear when you're listening to headphones. They have a continuous frequency, and they're higher in the beta and gamma frequency ranges. Binaural beats are best listened to with headphones. The isochronic tones are better on the computer speakers, like I've already said. Research has found that isochronic tones produce a stronger brainwave entrainment effect when compared to binaural beats. The brainwave entrainment has an effect on our physical body and our emotional self. So the sound that you will hear throughout this practice benefits our immune system. So enjoy it. Let it sink into every cell in your body.
Slowly come back to stillness. Just allow the legs to be still for 3 breaths, deep belly breaths. And then our last position, with the upper body still in this Matsyasana fish shape, but the lower body doing something else, we're going to walk the feet close together and let the knees open wide into the butterfly. Now, of course, if you'd like some blocks underneath the outsides of the knees or any support that you might need, feel free to take that. And then when you're happy with the legs in this position, with the knees opening wide, a deep stretch on the insides of the legs, a beautiful expansion of the chest, the head and the arms relaxed completely, then settle back into your deep belly breath, diaphragmatic breathing. We'll be here for 3 minutes again. Feel gravity and time gently bringing the knees closer and closer to the ground. Or if the knees are supported or the thighs are supported, that you feel a gentle release into that support. And our 3 minutes here is up. So you'll slowly, gently take your hands to the outsides of the legs, guide the knees back together. And then you can slide the legs long if that's helpful. Press into your hands and arms and peel yourself off your bolster or whatever you use to support you in the fish. Put the bolster or whatever you use to support you to one side out of the way. Our arms will go out into a letter T in a moment. So I'm sending my bolster towards the bottom of the mat and then lie back down. And here we're going to work again on the idea of pumping the venous return and the lymphatic drainage. So lie in Shavasana for a moment while I describe the next movement, and then we'll do it together. So we're going to do what's called Apanasana. Your left leg will stay long, your right knee will bend. You'll draw the right knee gently towards the chest, interlacing the fingers behind the right thigh, and then lift your forehead towards your knee, and then gently release head and foot back down, sliding right leg to the bottom of the mat, bending your left knee, lifting head to meet knee, knee to meet head as you hug that thigh towards you, and then releasing back down, foot goes to the ground and slides long. So again, there's a lot of lymphatic nodes around the groin area. So we're hoping to compress and then decompress that area so that we're benefiting our lymphatic drainage again. So we'll begin together. So left leg stays long. We bend the right knee. We hug it towards us with our hands and we take our forehead towards the knee. If there's any pain in the neck, of course, you can leave the head down. And then slowly release. Foot to the ground, head to the ground, slide the right leg long, slowly and gently. Bend up that left knee, hug the thigh towards the chest with your hands and forward to your knee, like slow motion, back to the ground, and the left leg slides long. Right leg draws in, we hug our forehead to our knee to our forehead. We release, slide long. Left side, knee to forehead, forward to knee. Lengthen out, let everything go. That's 2 reps. 3rd rep, right leg. Releasing down. I like to exhale as I draw my knee in, and inhale as I draw my leg out. That feels better. Exhale as you draw the leg in. Inhale as you draw the leg out. Exhale. Draw the leg in. Inhale. Draw the leg out. I'm going to do 5 more reps. four more for me. You can keep your own count if you feel that your speed is slightly different to me. Your rhythm is slightly different to me. I have 2 more to do. Any tension around the neck and shoulders, if you feel like you're leading with your chin instead of your chest, relax your shoulders. Should feel nice and supportive and restorative rather than kind of a big abdominal crunch that feels like it's too much effort. This is my last rep on my left side. When you've completed, lie long in Shavasana or maybe taking constructive rest, knees together, feet wide. We're just going to rest for 1 minute. Timer is on, belly breath. Just be still and comfortable for 1 minute. And we'll move on to our next pose. So the benefit of the next pose, lovely open chest, working on the lungs. Now the middle to upper portion of the lungs are going to be wide open, while the lower portion of the lungs gets compressed, and then we open up for that decompression. And also our digestive system. So a lot of our immunity can be part of our digestive system, our healthy gut microbiome. So in this shape, in the twist we're about to do, we're going to drop the legs over to the left-hand side so that all the tissues of the right-hand side of the torso are being drawn towards the left. And that causes a compression on the ascending colon. And then we'll come back to center, and we're going to do a little massage all the way from the right side of the torso over to the left side of the torso. Then we're going to do a twist to the right with our legs, which is going to compress our descending colon. And then we're going to release that in 3 minutes, after 3 minutes, we'll say. And then we're just going to come back to constructive rest, allowing everything that we've basically massaged all the way through our large intestine to settle downwards. So in yoga, they would call that a downward force, a downward movement of our energy, which is all part of our natural rhythms. So that's the why. Now we'll actually do the practice. So we're going to slide our bum a little over to the right-hand side of the mat. And then cross your right leg over your left leg. And again, the act of crossing the legs, and it doesn't matter how tight they are, but we're compressing the lovely lymph nodes around our abdominal region and our groin region as well. So again, this idea, lymph drainage, immune system, digestive health, all benefited. Once the legs are crossed, you can move your arms out to a T shape, straight across, or cactus shape if that gives you more room, or even hands behind the head. That's a nice one as well. One hand resting on top of the other and cradling the back of the head so the chin is slightly tucked. Then you may take a couple of cushions or a bolster or some blocks over to the left-hand side to support your legs, or you can just let the legs drape over entirely. And there's that downward force of the weight of the legs compressing the right-hand side of the torso. If you have the arms out in the letter T, you can turn your head to the right-hand side. If you have your head supported like I do, you can stay gazing up at the ceiling. And this one is a 3-minute pose. And again, we focus on the belly breath. Nothing really matters except you, the shape you're in, and your breath. So any distractions fall away as we focus on the breath and the sensations in the body. Our 3 minutes are up. So you're going to very gently maybe release your head if your arms are under your head, so that you have some support from your hands as you guide your knees back up to center. Uncross the right leg from the left leg and bring your pelvis back to the middle of the mat. And then you can keep the feet, soles of the feet on the ground, knees wide apart, or constructive rest knees together. With your two hands, you're going to take your hands to the upper abdominal region underneath the rib cage. And in a clockwise direction, you're just going to massage, so little circles in a clockwise direction, all the way from the right side of the upper abdominals, slowly and gently. You don't have to press too hard. Feel whatever pressure feels nice and supportive and appropriate for you. And then massage all the way over to the left side of the upper abdominal. And when you get there, we're going to come back over. Don't massage back over. Just lift your hands and come back over to the right. And then massage in a little circular motion all the way back over to the left. We'll do that once more. So whenever you get to the left-hand side, take your time. Pause. Lift your hands, guide them back over to the right. And do a little massage. And then this last time, when the hands get over to the left-hand side, you're going to take the hands away and just belly breathe for a couple of rounds. And then we're going to slide the pelvis over to the left-hand side of the mat. Cross left leg over right leg. Allow the knees to start to come down to your right. Support them if you need to. Choose the arm position. I'm going to put my hands under my head again. If you want to, you can turn your head over towards the left as the knees go to the right. Make sure you're comfortable and relaxed in the position. And all the muscles and the fascia are being drawn by the weight of our legs towards the ground on the right, compressing the descending colon. So I'm going to put 3 minutes on the timer again, and I will come back to you in 3 minutes. Enjoy. Like 3 minutes in the shape are up. So you might want your hands for support as you guide your knees back up to center. Uncross your legs, slide your pelvis back to the center of the mat. You could straighten out your legs, or you can keep the knees hip distance apart. You could also take constructive rest and just be still for 1 minute with belly breath. We're now going to roll onto one side and slowly and gently come up to a seated position. And we have a few movements here in seated that are going to benefit our immune system and even our mood. So the first thing we're going to do is called the thymus thump. And in the thymus thump, you make a soft fist and you start to tap or beat, like Tarzan almost, around the upper breastbone area, kind of between the two collarbones and just a little lower. And part of the thymus thump is that we start to do a laughing sound. So you start to go, ha, 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 ha. And you continue to do that until you're actually giggling. So very, very good for your immune system is to have a good mood. Now, in Western medicine, they say the thymus becomes a bit atrophied, or it does become atrophied as we age. But in more esoteric medicines or traditional medicines, they say that we can still benefit this gland through these practices. So keep pounding around the chest, not too hard, just a little tapping. And laughing. Keep going just for a couple of moments more. And you'll find your shoulders start to shake and you do giggle a little bit. And you can let that go. Keep the fist, take it underneath, so it doesn't matter right or left. So whichever hand that you had the fist, place it underneath the opposite armpit, and then begin to lift the arm of that armpit up and down. And again, we're compressing and decompressing some lymph nodes that are located around the armpit area. So we'll just do that for a few breaths. Squeeze and release. If it feels tender, squeeze very gently. Squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. If it feels good, go with whatever pressure you want. And then we'll switch sides. So fist under the armpit, squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. A couple more. Okay, we'll let that go. Whatever seated position you're in, place your hands on your knees. We're going to do little circles. So it's like you're circling your shoulders around the pelvis. Enjoy that movement. Again, a sense of compression of the front body and then decompression. Same with the back body.
change direction. Come back to a seated upright position, arms out to the side. We'll do some side bending for the side of the lungs. So you can tilt over to your right, left arm reaches up and over, and tilt over to your left. Right arm reaches up and over. We'll do that 4 more times. Over to the right, over to the left, to your right, to your left. 2 more. And release. Excellent. Okay, we're going to send the legs out long. We're going to do one more big circular movement, churning the mill. So legs as long as feels comfortable for you. They could be close together. They could be nice and wide. Interlace your fingers down to the webbing. We're going to do Kali Mudra. First finger extended, left thumb crossed above right. Lengthen up, fold forward, and we start going to your left. So move out over your left leg. Lean back, circle in over your right leg. Out over your left leg, lean back, circle in over your right leg. Let's do 3 more in this direction. And the next time you come forward, start to circle out over the right leg. Lean back and back in over the left. Out and in. We'll do 3 more like this. And come back to your stillness. Some twisting, rotating the spine. So it's going to look like this. I might turn to my side to show you from the Pilates world. So what we're going to do is we'll take, let's say, as I'm facing the left hand towards the little toe side of the right foot. The back arm rotates internally. So see how my thumb is facing up? It rotates down. And then we go saw, saw, saw. We come back up through center, both thumbs facing up. We reach to the other side. Saw, 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 and all the way back up. Let's do 5 of those. So we'll use a breath to pump our lymphatic system as well. So it's inhale in center, turn to the right, saw, exhale, 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 pump the breath out. Inhale center, exhale, turn left, pump the breath, pump the breath, pump the breath. Inhale, exhale right, breathe out, breathe out, breathe out. Inhale, exhale left, breathe out, breathe out, breathe out. Inhale, exhale right, breathe out, breathe out, breathe out. Inhale, exhale left, pump, pump, pump. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, exhale right, exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale left, exhale, exhale, exhale. 1 more. Inhale, exhale right, exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale left, exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale to center, release your arms down. Come into a seated position for a moment to let everything realign. Just relax for a moment in any seated position that suits you, that feels appropriate and comfortable. And then we've come to the end of our exploration through our lymphatic system and our lungs. We're going to go back to the most beautiful restorative posture of legs up the wall. So I'm going to grab my chair again. I'm going to put something up on it just so that it's balanced. And we're going to do our legs up the wall or legs up the chair for 3 minutes. So 3 minutes on the clock. Sidle your bum towards the wall or the support.
Legs extend up. And relax. Belly breath. Nothing to do but chill out. Be with your breath. Your time in this legs up the wall or chair poses up. So bend your knees, slowly roll to one side, and taking your time, come up to a seated position. Find yourself solid and stable. Just check in with yourself. So I've been pretty miserable all day with a head cold. I'm a very bad patient. I'm not good at being sick. So I've been in my emotion. So having given myself some time to kind of check in with the body and benefit the body, I feel way better. So I hope that also goes to you, whether you're trying to avoid colds and flus or whether you're maybe recuperating like myself. It's always beneficial to boost our immunity with our practice. So thank you. We'll finish the practice by bowing forward with the Irish word for peace. Bow forward, Shia Khan.